Right now, inside your cells, there's DNA that isn't entirely human. It came from another species, Neanderthals, and it's affecting your health, your appearance, even your risk of severe COVID. 40,000 years ago, two species of humans met in Ice Age Europe. They looked different, they thought different, but they had children together. And then, within just a few thousand years, one of them completely vanished. This is the story of humanity's most intimate encounter with another species, and why 2 to 4% of your genome came from people who aren't technically your ancestors. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what happened and why it matters to you today. In 2010, scientists did something that sounds like science fiction. They extracted DNA from Neanderthal bones that were 50,000 years old and sequenced the entire genome. What they found changed everything we thought we knew about human evolution. If you're of European, Asian, or Native American descent, approximately 2 to 4% of your DNA is Neanderthal. Not similar to Neanderthal, not related to Neanderthal. Literally, Neanderthal DNA, the actual genetic code from another species. This means something profound. Our ancestors didn't just encounter Neanderthals and walk away, they formed relationships. They had children, and those hybrid children survived, thrived, and passed Neanderthal genes through hundreds of generations, directly to you. Those genes affect you right now. They influence your immune system, your pain tolerance, whether you're a morning person or night owl, your risk for depression, even how your body responded to COVID-19. But this raises an obvious question. If Neanderthals and modern humans could have healthy children together, and those children survived, where are the Neanderthals? Why did only one species make it out alive? To understand what happened, you need to know who the Neanderthals actually were. And here's the first surprise. They weren't primitive. Neanderthals had brains larger than ours. They created art, buried their dead with flowers, crafted tools that took years to master, and almost certainly spoke complex languages. They survived in Ice Age Europe for over 300,000 years, 6 times longer than modern humans have existed. Their bodies were built like tanks, stocky, heavily muscled, adapted for extreme cold. They could see better in low light than we can. Their noses warmed freezing air before it hit their lungs. They needed 5,000 calories a day just to function, nearly double what we need. They were perfectly adapted to their world. They were intelligent, capable, successful. They had everything they needed to survive, except preparation for what was moving north from Africa. Around 45,000 years ago, modern humans, Homo sapiens, us, began moving into Europe in significant numbers. We'd encountered Neanderthals briefly before in the Middle East, but now we were coming to stay. We were different in almost every way, taller, lighter, more energy efficient. We needed half the calories they did. Where Neanderthals were ambush hunters who knew every valley intimately, we adapted fast and moved often. Different bodies, different strategies, same planet, same resources. So what happened when we met? The fossil record gave us almost no clues for decades. Were there wars? Trade? Did we just avoid each other? The DNA tells us the truth. There were relationships. The genetic evidence suggests interbreeding happened in multiple locations over thousands of years. These weren't just random encounters. They were partnerships, maybe even love. The children born from these unions faced challenges. Many Neanderthal genes were incompatible with our DNA, especially genes affecting male fertility. But the genes that did work proved incredibly valuable. Today, Neanderthal genes help your immune system fight bacterial infections. They help some populations survive at extreme altitudes. During COVID-19, researchers discovered a Neanderthal gene cluster on chromosome 3 that increased severe infection risk, while another Neanderthal gene provided protection. 40,000 years after they disappeared, Neanderthal DNA was still determining who lived and who died in a modern pandemic. But if the encounters were sometimes peaceful, sometimes intimate, why did only we survive? Around 40,000 years ago, Neanderthal populations began shrinking. By 35,000 years ago, they were confined to refuges in southern Spain and Gibraltar. And by 30,000 years ago, they were gone entirely. This is paleontology's greatest murder mystery. And here's what makes it haunting. There's no smoking gun, no mass graves, no evidence of genocide. They just faded. Modern researchers believe it wasn't one catastrophe, it was death by 1,000 cuts. Here's what we know. First, numbers. Neanderthals never numbered more than about 70,000 individuals across their entire range. Modern humans numbered in the millions globally. In any competition for resources, we didn't need to be better, we just needed to be more numerous. And we were. Second, climate chaos. Between 40,000 and 30,000 years ago, Europe went through rapid, violent climate swings. Warm periods followed by sudden freezing. Neanderthals had survived ice ages before, but never while also competing with another human species. Third, hunting strategy. Neanderthals were ambush hunters, strong enough to take down prey hand to hand. We used projectile weapons and could hunt from a safe distance. When climate disrupted animal migrations, one strategy proved more adaptable. Fourth, diet. We ate everything. Large game, small game, fish, shellfish, plants. Neanderthals focused on large game. When mammoth populations crashed, we had backup options. They didn't. Fifth, network effects. We formed larger social networks, traded over longer distances, shared innovations faster. When disaster struck one human band, help could come from elsewhere. When it struck a Neanderthal group, that knowledge could die with them. And finally, assimilation. Some Neanderthals may not have died out. They may have been absorbed. Their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren slowly diluted into the growing modern human population until there was no distinct Neanderthal left. Only humans carrying fragments of their DNA. The last confirmed Neanderthal remains date to about 40,000 years ago, and then silence. So they're extinct, but are they really gone? You carry between 40,000 and 100,000 Neanderthal gene variants in your genome right now. When you look in a mirror, you might be seeing them: the shape of your skull, your hair texture, your skin tone. When you get sick and recover, Neanderthal genes might be part of why you survived. Neanderthal genes affect whether you're a morning person. They influence your pain tolerance. They help some populations live at extreme altitudes in Tibet. They affect your risk for depression, nicotine addiction, and autoimmune diseases. Those two hands pressed against stone 40,000 years ago belong to different species, but their descendants merged into one. The Neanderthals didn't vanish completely, they became part of us. Their story is our story.
Their genes are our genes, and as long as we survive, so do they.